Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome yet again to the 2024 DTB KBA Financial Literacy and Enterprise Development Training. Karibuni sana. Thank you for joining. And as usual, you can let us know where you're joining us from. If you've been to these sessions before, this is your first time, let us know as you're joining, where you're joining us from. Even what stood out from last year's session. This year's sessions are refreshed, and we can't wait for you all to see the good things in store for this session. So karibuni sana. Let us know where you're joining us from, and we are really happy to have all of you. Thank you. We can give everyone a few more minutes to join in. And for the sign language interpretation, there is an interpretation tab. We'll also be communicating the same on chat. Karibuni sana to everyone who's joining the moment. And we shall begin with introductions. This is the first module, and there's very much in store for all of you. So without much further ado, I'd like to welcome Banis Onyango from KBA to say hello and to speak to the partnership with the Kenya Bankers Association. Karibu Banis.
Thank you, Mantui, for that introduction. Good morning, everyone. As Mantui has mentioned, I work with the Kenya Bankers Association. Now, the Kenya Bankers Association has been partnering with DTB in the delivery of the Inuka training for the Inuka Enterprise Program. Now, the Inuka Enterprise Program is really a financial literacy program that helps to build capacity for MSMEs in a way that helps MSMEs to then scale and reach their full potential. Now, the training is delivered through an e-learning platform, and that e-learning platform has a number of modules, which include entrepreneurship and company registration, as well as financial management. And the training is also delivered through face-to-face engagements. Now, the Inuka SME program is, as I said, an initiative by KBA, because banks recognize that MSMEs are really the backbone for the economy. And as such, this program seeks to then help businesses to formalize in a way that they can then access financing from banks. But then beyond just the training, the program, which is the Inuka Enterprise Program, also seeks to then leverage on mentorship and coaching that would then help MSMEs to leapfrog by gaining, very valuable and practical insights. Yes, so really that is the Inuka Enterprise Program. I trust that the session today will be very insightful and quite impactful. And I really just wish you all the very best. Actually, KBA wishes you all the very best in your journey to scale and to reach your full potential. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Banis, and it's a great pleasure to have you on board. Next, we'll have Asmira Tobani, who is our head of corporate communications and our host for today. Karibu sana, Asmira.
Thank you, Mantui, and welcome to everybody. Every year we do this, I always tell my team that this is one of my favorite projects or initiatives to do. And that's because if you guys just all look at the chat section, there's already over 100 chats on people telling us where they're from. I love the engagement. And that's why we're here, really to engage with SMEs in this country. I think Bernice put it really well when she said we all realize that it's the MSME sector that's the backbone of this country and of this economy. As DTB, we are an SME bank. We are a bank that supports micro, small, and medium enterprises. And that's why we do this. That's why we partnered with KBA today. For the next 7 weeks, you'll be seeing a lot of us, and we hope we'll be seeing a lot of you. But we did this really to be able to give business owners in this country the tools that they need so that they can grow their businesses on their own. So really for us, it's an empowerment session. It's a session for us to come out and say, hey guys, let's support each other. we will give you the tools of trade that you need to grow your business even further than what you already have. And so let me just welcome you all to this first module. For 2024, we have really refreshed these modules. We've come up with new topics. We try and keep it as relevant as possible to what is happening in the country, in the world, just to help you get that extra step that you need to grow further. So this is the first one. We'll be doing this for the next 7 weeks, same time, same place. So I really hope everyone can be joining us. Remember, this is for growth for both our ends. And let me just end again by saying welcome. And it's a pleasure to host all of you today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Asmaira. As you can hear, we are very excited about this particular session, and we have been for all the years that have passed. And just allow me to shout out some of the locations that I have seen on the chart. We have Mombasa, Parklands, Malindi, Nyeri, even Namibia. Karibu sana. I don't know how to say karibu sana in, in the local language, but you are very welcome. We have Zimmerman from Nairobi. We also have Tanzania. Karibuni sana. And just another shout out, Beatrice Mwangi, who says she banks with DTB. Thank you for banking with us and banking on us. I'm even seeing Switzerland on the chat. Thank you, everybody. It is a pleasure to have all of you. Even Dubai. Wow, wonderful, wonderful. Bondo. It's amazing the reach of this Kirinyaga. I mean, I could go on and on. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'd like to introduce our trainer for the day. Some of you might recognize him from last year and the years before. He has been walking this journey with you and your businesses through these trainings. And so we have Duncan Dumundegwa on the call, and he will be taking us through the very first module, which is business competitiveness for MSMEs. And a little bit about Duncan. He's an experienced professional in business development services, TVET skilling and mentoring youth in enterprise development. He's a master trainer in strategic management, marketing, agribusiness, business planning, business counseling, livelihoods, household economic strengthening, and community development concepts. He's also a consultant in business incubation, coaching, and mindset orientation for corporates and individual business-oriented clients, starting with micro, small, and medium enterprises. He is experienced in curriculum and training materials development for various clients, and has been involved in many projects, including the Inuka projects and with ourselves for a number of years. So it is a great pleasure, and we are in good hands as we begin this session. So, take out your notebooks, take out your pens, and let's get ready to learn and to gain insights for our businesses. So karibu sana Duncan, over to you.
Thank you very much, DTB team. Once again, it's a great pleasure to be with you again and our wonderful clients. Every time I sit here, I'm very honored to share experiences, engage business people in a more of a thought process. As much as we come with PowerPoint presentations, they are meant to mostly provoke thinking, because at the end of the day, we want practicality and what can drive our businesses forward. I have been on this journey for many years now. We started this journey back, I think, in 2016, when this idea was conceived. We made the first modules, we piloted, and over the years, we have been delivering to different various clients. So I don't take it for granted to be involved in this all this while and to grow with Inuka Enterprise Program. So I am very, very proud of this. So having said that, I'm very happy that we have clients from all over the country. In fact, even internationally, from Switzerland, from Namibia, from all over. It goes to show how, business has no borders, and also goes to show how Inuka program is going beyond borders, and how the interconnectedness of business across the world. So we cannot take that for granted. And I am privileged to be part of this and to deliver and to share experiences. So as you have been informed, my name is Dungudan Kandegwa, BDS consultant, also involved in other projects. Right now, I'm also having a contract with GIZ, working in transformation of youth through TVET delivery to make the youth acquire more meaningful skills, industry-led skills, and the skills that are in current demand because of the gap that we have today, where we have a big disconnect between what is in the curricula and what the enterprises require. And that one brings about unemployment. And we have been saying unemployment of the youth is a time bomb. But we didn't know that the bomb is going to blow up soon. So here in Kenya, the bubble has busted in the form of the younger generation starting up and protesting once in a while about missed opportunities, about the hopelessness of going through an education system and not coming up with the skills that can fit in the marketplace. So the bomb that we have always talked about has finally exploded. And we have to deal with it. We have to do what we must do. And what we must do is what we are doing now, to build the capacity of the youth, to build the capacity of businesses, especially startups. My focus usually is more on the startups, because if you can start well, then growth can be assured. Because we are in an environment that for every 100 businesses that are started, about 95% don't see their 50th birthday. So for me here, the little I can do to make sure we have more percentage seeing their 50th birthday is to ensure that we build the capacity of startups, and that is where all the hope is needed, encouragement, simple tools to work. So you'll hear my presentation veers off mostly, almost 50%, if not more, on micro enterprises and middle-level enterprises. So today we are talking about business competitiveness for micro, small, and medium enterprises. This is a wide area, but we are going to give it scope so that we can see what we can cover in 2.5 hours. In the first hour, we are going to explore some issues. Then we are going to have a small break of 10 to 15 minutes so that we can grab some cup of tea, or some rest a little bit. Then in our second session, we shall handle more issues, and then we shall have a Q&A at the end, question and answer session. We shall explore what we can do for our businesses, some to-do areas, and we shall end our presentation there. So we shall take 2.5 hours. Keep chatting. My colleagues, we are going to help me analyze the chats at the break time so that at our Q&A, we can address them. Meanwhile, later on, if you want us to get in contact, I have provided my email address, which you can use for future communication. So I am happy to talk to you. For right now, we are almost 500, and I know the number is growing by the minute. So business competitiveness. We are going to look at the overview of what competitiveness is about. As I said, this is a very broad area. But this is a term that every day we are talking about. We have to be competitive. You have to do this, be competitive. So what is all this competitiveness that we talk about in business? Then we are going to explore a few dimensions of market segmentation as a flashback. This is a topic that we covered in marketing, I think last year, but to build a firm context, especially for small businesses, we are going to explore again the dimensions of market segmentation to give a good background to competitiveness. We are going to explore some measures of business competitiveness, about 6 of them. Then the process of establishing competitiveness in your business, no matter the size of the business, because all businesses operate from the same principles. What differs is the capital outlay and the size of business. Otherwise, the principles are the same from the kiosk to a supermarket to a hypermarket to a mall. Principles of businesses are the same, but what differs is what capital and what scale. Then we shall also look at the business competitiveness cycle and how you can drive through the cycle to make your business more competitive. Yes, business competitiveness also has risk, no? As much as it's a much talked term and we talk about it every day and it's positive. Yes, it has also risks. So depending on how you're going to implement, you can find yourself facing some risks in the same competitiveness. We are going to also look at qualities, benefits of business competitiveness. We are going to look at key qualities of competitiveness conscious entrepreneur. And this is a very interesting area. What qualities are visible of most business competitive conscious entrepreneurs? Then we shall have some 5 key takeaways as a way of summary for this presentation. And then we shall review with you and we shall do a small task with you on how you can take action to build business competitiveness in your business. What can you do in 3 months? What can you do in 6 months? What can you do in 12 months? You know, you are going to assess yourself. We don't know your business, but you are going to assess yourself and you're going to tell us maybe on the chat that my business is this. I'm located in Switzerland or in Kenya or in Kibera or in Nyeri. And this is what I think I can do out of this training, out of this presentation. I think I can do something small in 3 months. I can do something else in 6 months. I can do something else in 12 months to increase my business competitiveness. Because growth is a journey of small steps. And the small steps yield big when well articulated. Then finally, we shall have a question and answer, and that will be the end of our presentation. So diving straight to competitiveness, as I indicated, this is a term that has been used every day, you know, positively about improving the performance of our businesses. But what does it entail? Is the ability of MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises to produce goods that meet quality standards at the most optimal prices and focusing on returns. So a business that is competitiveness conscious will focus on meeting the standards of the customers, keeping high quality standards for the customers, and setting the most optimal prices for the customers, and of course, to give returns for growth. You can do everything But if it doesn't have your return on investment, then your business might not grow. So some of the areas that are encompasses competitiveness are like cost efficiency. And in marketing, we dwelled a lot talking about costing, because this is an area that has led businesses to fail when they don't know what it costs to produce what they produce. I have seen this mostly in agribusiness-related businesses, where the cost of production is not well articulated, and you find some agribusiness enterprises, they end up selling their produce below the cost of production. And some of them, when we used to analyze businesses, because we've done that in the past, and I dwell more here on agribusiness because Kenya is, we say, ni uti wa mgongo, the backbone of the economy. You ponder about this. You know, we pay so much for labor, daily labor, kibarua, what we call kibarua here. And on the countryside, you'll find that most people are paid 300, 400 shillings for a day's wage. But incidentally, you come across cases where some entrepreneurs, they engage in enterprises that if you take the returns divided by the amount of days they spend in the enterprise, you know, what we call man days in business, or person days for gender sensitivity, you find what they get per day is less than what they pay for wage. What does that mean? It means that whoever is doing wage, whoever you are employing as a wage worker might be earning more than you, the boss. So who is the boss? The boss is a person who has more money. You might think you have employed somebody to work for you, but that person might be doing better than you, because what you are paying them is much better than what you are making in business. I'm saying this to, you know, underscore the need for costing and cost efficiency. It is not a very sweet thing to say, but it is real, and we have seen it happen. Then another point is innovation. Innovation is an English word that, again, is used here and there. But what does it mean? Innovation is just adding just a meaningful difference. Yeah, a meaningful difference in your product to attract more customers, lock in existing customers by making them satisfied with your product. Innovation. I like giving examples because at the end of the day, we are products of experiences. Recently, I was traveling to Meru. Meru is to the eastern side of the country, and somewhere along where there is a big hotel where people stop over for a drink as they proceed with a long journey to Meru. What struck me, a little innovation that struck me, was about their washrooms. Yes, washrooms, yes. This is one hotel that has music in the washroom. Then I asked myself now, as a business development expert, surely, what is the effect of music in the washroom? The washrooms are very clean, and there is music. Music brings comfort, brings So what does it tell you about this small innovation, just putting some little music in the workshop? In the mind of the customer, it tells you about the extent we can go to make a customer satisfied. Then you start imagining, if there is music in the workshop, then their boarding first must be wonderful. Their meals must be great. Their whole product must be great. And it's surely great. So that can, do a lot. So quality also is another important point in competitiveness. Most entrepreneurs, they want to define quality, but quality is defined by the customer. Quality is in the eyes. When you are doing marketing, we say that quality is in the eyes of the beholder. So you have to keep your ear on the ground to know how exactly does a customer want your product. Not the way you think, the way they think. It could be the quantities. Maybe your products are packed in quantity, but your market is a category economy. So is it quality for them? No, it's not. It is quality when it meets their needs, the way they, not the way you want it. Sometimes they want it in a crazy way that you can't think about. And I want there's a company that developed, I know those from Kenya know what I'm talking about, but I won't name names. Then they placed it in the market. When it went to the market, somehow, I don't know how it ended up attracting, people discovered that it is good also for human skin. And that product today, it is still called a milking jelly. It is still on the shelves of the supermarkets. But most of the customers who are buying it, they are not doing any milk. They are using it on themselves for beauty purposes. That's the way the customer wants it. So recently, somebody wanted to rebrand it and remove the cow and introduce, make it now. There was a lot of uproar. And we want our cow there, So the cow has remained there. And we like it that way. Was it for humans? No. Do they want any rebranding? No. Customers want that mafuta there. And we keep our cow there on the ground and listen to the customer, because just like beauty lies in the eye of the beholders, quality is also in the eye of the beholder. Whatever they think is quality is what you are going to offer. The next point is flexibility. Flexibility in business is very important, and it improves your competitiveness. The business environment, even when you are covering business environment in marketing, it keeps on changing. And if you are not flexible, then you are going to be affected by, the changes, and you can sink. What I'm doing now, I'm training. And some years back, before the COVID-19 came, we were used to face-to-face trainings. And we had never imagined that training could be done in any other way because of the personal touch that goes with it. But guess what? In 2020, from 13th March, I remember the date because it's a defining moment. It was a defining moment in what we do. We found ourselves out of business because there was no way we could meet our clients, including this one we are doing here. So that's when we started using Zoom. And this is a new technology. And we had to be flexible or perish. If we did not have ICT skills, or those who did not have ICT skills, no matter how learned, no matter how experienced they were, no matter how good they were, they became limited in facilitation of the kind of product that we are offering you now. Hotels got the blunt of it because, again, there was lockdowns and we were all not going to hotels anymore. We were supposed to sit in the house, wash our hands until they became browner than our bodies. We washed hands, we used barakoas, we stayed at home. So hotels that did not know what to do, they perished. And here in Nairobi, I can list more than 10 hotels that just went under. They were much hit by the COVID. But other entrepreneurs discovered that you can take food to the consumers by way of, physically taking those catering services that are not inside the hotel. And those are the ones that carried the business. They took the business from hotels and it became individualized. And now food is taken to people who are ordering from their homes. So they bought motorcycles. They branded the service so well that in a few minutes you can get whatever you want ordered online and delivered to your door. So those hotels that did not have flexibility, no matter how good they were, they did not survive. And there are big hotels even here in Nairobi, big hotels that went under because they were not flexible. So because business environment is always changing, then as an entrepreneur, you have to find ways of always coping with the new ways of doing business and the changing needs of customers. Unfortunately, customers are created in very mysterious ways. And one of the mysteries about consumer behavior is that it keeps on changing. Consumer behavior keeps on changing. Is it realistic? No. Sometimes looks even weird, but that's it, flexibility. In the 70s and 80s, if you look at the kind of clothes we used to wear then, the baggy washes and, heavy clothes. Today, it's different. If somebody woke up from the 80s and found what we are wearing today, will tell us we are walking in tatters, Of course, we want tatter jeans, we want faded jeans, they will not understand, but yeah, that's it. That's change of consumer behavior. We have to be flexible. Are you going to import bell bottoms because you are from the 70s? No, because today people want the torn jeans. So you give that. So you buy a pair of jeans, cut it down until it meets the customer's liking. Adaptation to ever-changing market conditions is another very important area of competitiveness. So once again, the markets are changing. Why they change is just human nature. And we have no control over the changing trends. We have no control over, how people think. Because today people want this, tomorrow they want that. If you look at the vehicle industry, even the vehicles have changed. Some time back, we wanted very huge cars. Suddenly people want smaller cars. So new models have come. See, you press down the roof of a Harrier to make it smaller. You press down the size of a Fielder to make it look smaller and more trendy. That's what people want. That's what the customer wants. Any justification? No, that's just human nature. So these are very core areas of that encompass competitiveness, and we shall see more down there in another slide. So competitiveness is wide, but we shall explore the areas that are very crucial, but minding so much on quality, pricing, and returns. Any business that does not have returns, then it is on the deathbed or going to collapse. Now, let us flash back a little bit on market segmentation, because this is an area that affects small businesses and many startups. The one I was saying that they don't do 5 years. They die before their 50th birthday. So if you have been in business, the same business for 5 years, know you are a business legend, you are doing well. If you can keep doors open for 5 years in a business, then the experiences you have had and your resilience, you are on your way to greatness. Otherwise, many don't even do 3 years. Now, for every product, there is a customer for it, and there is a focus for a business on the way you look at the market you want to serve. And one of the most important is demographic segmentation, because there is no product for everyone. There is no one size fits all. And anything that is developed for everyone, then it is for no one. So it is always good to focus on how do you want to segment your market to reach that customer that you want to meet. So the first one is called demographic, as we covered in marketing. And this one is grouping your customers on graphic factors. That is like age, gender, income, education level, occupation, family size, religion. This ethnicity, these are called demographics. And demographic segmentation has been a very good area for capitalization and income generation for enterprises, because you can have a business that just focuses on a certain gender. Like there are businesses that just focus on women wear, on men wear. Others deal with the goes our total. That's demography. Like under fives. Yeah. Others look at demographies like income. There are those who want to deal with people who have a high disposable income. There are those that deal with low disposable income. Here in Nairobi, you'll see even clothes of 10 shillings, And there are also the same item in a shop could be 5,000. So is it the same? Yes. It's only that one is Mutumba, the other one is new, and they are in different places. And they are focusing on different income groups. There are some products that go with certain religions, and some don't do with some religions. Yeah. So before you start a business, or when you are still doing business, you can decide to focus on a certain religious inclination of a people and focus there for your business. There are those who focus on education level, like those who sell books. Definitely, if you are selling motivational books, you are not selling it to kindergarten kids. You're not selling it to, the illiterate. You're focusing on people with some level of education. So you'll be maybe try to position yourself around academic institutions or institutions where people with a higher education level dwell, So it's good to know what your business focuses on. There is one company that pioneered in, it's a big company, I don't know whether to mention it, in this mineral, what we call mineral water, this potable water. And they did a survey, that if we are going to there's need for water in the market to supplement our, product lines. And we have seen that people around town, they take a lot of water. And so we want to provide, apart from our soda, I think we can do with water. But whose water is this now? So they did a survey and they discovered that people who take more water are people who are a little bit educated. They are conscious about their health because they have read about diseases, Yes. They also happen to be young ladies with a disposable income. What else? Usually people take water when they are traveling. And most of the travelers, they are in that age of 20 to 30 years. These are people who are hustling, going for interviews, they're looking for jobs, and so on. So when they developed their product, and you remember, those in Kenya, you remember that advert. The advert was a young girl in her teens, no, maybe mid-20s, independent with some little money at her disposal. That is what they put in the advert because that is their market. Young, independent, with some disposable money, traveling, that girl, that lady, that is their market. So all the others, if you buy their water, it's fine, it's fine. But they knew that person, that lady, independent, has some money to buy water. She'll go to any extent to keep healthy and fit. These are the same people who want to keep fit. They don't want to be obese. That is their customer. But anybody else can buy, all right? But that is their customer, and they know there are many. And that water has never let them down. Everybody else has come with their water, but then they know, and that is why their price is higher, because their water is not for everyone. It's for that lady in her mid-20s, early 30s, maybe on her first job, ready to spend. And that is exactly what you'll find in their advert, all right? That is their demographic segmentation. You can also segment your market along geographic segmentation. That is dividing your market on location. This could be a country, this could be a region, this could be a city, neighborhood, population density, and so on. The products you find us using in Kenya and the products that are used in other parts of the world are very different. Many people complain about substandard goods that come to Kenya from a certain country I don't want to name. And we have associated them with low quality goods. But you know what? That country produces all type of goods for European market, for all markets. But they look at the market needs, Here in Kenya, people want cheap things. They know on average Kenyans want something cheap. Bora ifanye, as long as it works, let it be cheap. They want to bargain on the price from 100 to 0, if possible. And yes, then what they bring you? Yeah, you want a cheap product, you get it. So We go out there and bring so much stuff to our country, but most likely we focus on low quality goods, might be good looking, but low quality. So do you blame the country? No. Our geography, that's what we want. We want cheap products. Bora ifanye, let it work even for a day. So if you go to our homes today, we have 50 umbrellas, we have 50 pairs of shoes, all only one works. We have 50 torches. We have so much clothes in the wardrobe, but nothing to wear because there's one that was put on in water and the color came out. Another one shrunk to 50% the way it was, you know. So that's our market. And we are making billions for those who are supplying those goods. And they are happy, and we are happy. We are happy we got it cheap. They are happy they can sell to us. But that's not what they sell to other countries. Once upon a time when we had that phone called Nokia 3310, those who can remember that magic phone, the one that used to come to African market is not what was going to European market. I know that because I have a brother who was in Europe and he came with a 3310, and now we could compare the one here and the one he came. They were different. Different in functionality, difference in resilience and everything. So geography can inform you a lot of things. And you can segment your market on geography. You can decide we shall be in this location. And that is why you hear most of these like beverage companies, they focus on region and region because regions have different needs. Like a soda business. In central Kenya, you find the 300 milliliter bottle is more popular. In Western Nyanza areas, without any prejudice, you find the 500 mils soda is more popular. Whom do you blame? Nobody. That's how the customer wants it. So that's us. And the customer is always right. So you can focus on a certain geography for your business. Okay. The next is psychographic segmentation. This is where you segment your market depending on lifestyles, personalities, interests, you know, lifestyle, class, yeah. And you can decide to segment your market that way, to focus on people of a certain class. That is why, you know, Mercedes-Benz is different from a Probox. They could be the same functionality, but sorry, Mercedes-Benz will cost more. And you won't find Mercedes-Benz being towed along the road. Yeah, because Mercedes is Mercedes. Probox is Probox. That is the image it has cut for itself in the world. That is the vehicle that transports presidents and the great. Yeah, so you can focus on personality. There are those who have, you know, sanguine personalities. There are those who have, you know, whatever kind of personality. You can decide to, you know, focus on the qualities of those personalities, what they value, because different people value different things. And these are very cultural things. And people have made business from cultural, you know, attributes of communities. And yeah, you know, if you go to Western Kenya, you have keep bulls for bullfighting. It's a big business. So you expect the price of an average bull is high because they are priced. You know, the same bulls are expensive in central around Mwea areas because they use them for farming. Yeah. Elsewhere, they use them for slaughtering. You know, so it depends on so many, you know, values of communities, and you can strategically place your business to understand. So is it their problem? No, that is how the market, the customer has come. That's how he wants it. You do it that way. Behavioral segmentation is another attribute that you can focus on. You can focus on, you can divide your markets based on customer behavior, some the user status, purchase behavior, and customers are very interesting because they come with all their behavior, they come with all their attributes. There are those who shop, and that is like now malls make a lot of business from behavioral segmentation because people who have a lot of money, they also do one-off shoppings, huge amount of money. So do they buy all that because they need them? Not necessarily. It's to make a statement that, yes, this is how I shop. I shop big. That is my behavior, and the customer is always right, as always. This one now is called firmographic segmentation, especially for business to business, enterprises. You can divide your markets according to industry, company size, revenue, they raise, location, business structure. Because we have different, today we have business to business more pronounced than it was before. There are those businesses that only deal with other businesses. They don't have individual customers, like what we call B2C. This is a B2B, business to business. So the purchasing power of small companies. So you tailor your product to them, maybe by breaking the bulk, the units you can buy, okay? If you are dealing with big organizations, then you know how to package your product so that if they are physical products, you know the amount they like the packages, okay? Their business structure is also important to know because business structure can also mean how long it means to be paid. Some are very bureaucratic. Some you have to, like state corporations, you have to deliver first, then claim money later. And this can lead to premium tiers later on, like what we have seen here in Kenya, like without prejudice, those who supply counties with products. Then you find after 5 years, there's a new regime who looks suspiciously at anything else, the pending bills that the other governor left behind. We have had governors saying, no, we cannot pay this because we don't even know how, So it's good to know when you are doing B2B, like when you are supplying to corporations, you know the risks that go with it. Yeah. Another dimension of market segmentation is technographic segmentation. And this one is grouping along the technology use. Today, we are in an environment that is very ICT enabled. And so when you are dealing with ICT enabled institutions or businesses, then you know what to invest in, you know how to relate with them. If they are not, then you know how to relate with them. So most of the techno-friendly institutions or businesses, you can be able to adopt softwares for them. And that is why today we are using Zoom for this interchange, talking to more than 540 people using Zoom, because it was discovered that this is a technology that can have a bigger outreach. If this was a normal face-to-face workshop, it could have a maximum of 30, but now we have more than 500. The outreach is more because somebody built that technology, and so for better outreach, you can have more people, you can have one presenter. And technology has led us there. So when you see now, before in education system, we have employment of so many teachers and Teacher Service Commission here in Kenya. Sometimes I ask myself, if one teacher can teach 20, 30 kids, if we introduce technology, and one teacher can take 500, say, like assuming this is my class now of 548. Then would you need so many teachers to be there and permanent, pensionable, you know, spending too much, being transferred from this point to that? If we use technology, you'll find that it can disrupt a lot of businesses. But the reason why that is not done is political, because again, you don't want to go home and start protesting. So, and again, when they came in, because we didn't have technology, nobody knew computers will come. So they were employed on permanent and pensionable. You work for 30, 40 years. You will work from 25 years to 60. You know, between 25 and 60, you know nothing else until you retire. That's when now you come out here and start another life. And that time you don't have energy. So technographic segmentation is important. You can see how you leverage on technology to have a better business outreach and to make more business sense in a way of profit margins. So I thought this is a good flashback because it gives us now a very good context, what we are talking today about business competitiveness. So I want now to dwell on some measures, 7 of them, of business competitiveness. And I would like us to pay a lot of attention to this because at the end of this presentation, we shall ask ourselves in our particular businesses, what can we do to make our business more business competitive? So we shall have a small task on my last slide, focusing on these 7 attributes or measures of business competitiveness. And the first one is cost efficiency. That is the ability to produce goods or services at lower cost than competitors while maintaining quality. So you have to invest in anything that brings your cost of production down. And if possible, lower than your competitors. If you do that, then you can be able to sell at a price that attracts more customers if they are physical products. So cost efficiency is one of the core areas of business competitiveness. Now, back to agriculture. Today, we are having agricultural enterprises. Farmers are complaining, especially those who are keeping dairy animals. They are saying the cost of feed has gone up. You know, it takes too much. You know, 1 sack of dairy meal is so much. Yes, it is. There's a lot. It's also attracting a lot of taxes. That is fine. So what do? You must bring the cost of production down. So why not start your own formulation? Start making your own feed. So many farmers have gone to create their own formulation. All you need is to know what a cow needs, the nutrients a cow needs in a day. Then you find out where they can get them from, what plants or what combination of plants or whatever, or salts and whatever. Then you create your own. So the focus is always to reduce the cost of production per unit. And the example I used earlier, that it should also pay you, your enterprise should pay you more than a daily worker, than a daily wage worker, so that you are not a business person running an enterprise, but you are poorer than your employees. Does it happen? Yes, it does. Because if your returns per day are less than what you pay your employee, then you know who is the boss. And certainly not you. The next measure of business competitiveness is productivity. That is output per unit that you put in. You have to analyze, and this is why in business planning, we talked about the need for business records. so that you can see how much labor are you putting in, how much capital have you employed, so that you get the returns for the inputs that you have put in, the ROI, the return on income. That is what we call productivity. What you put in versus what you get out of it, and the efficiency of using the resources. That brings about productivity. Many businesses have a problem with labor. They overemploy labor. And labor is very expensive. And possibly what you could do is to invest in technologies, especially for routine tasks. Routine tasks, you can employ technology to remove the human element, to reduce the cost of production, and focus on productivity to get more, so that the return on investment can be higher. So productivity is another core area that you have to think around how you use your resources efficiently to maximize on the productivity. Good. The third measure is on quality standard. And this is about how do you adhere to standards, certifications. Why are they important? They are important because it's an assurance that whatever you are producing is fit for purpose. It's fit for production. It's fit for consumption, right? Today, we have so many people who are investing in new businesses, foods, formulations, herbal drugs, and herbal supplements. But there's no standard. And where they fail all the time is on how do you assure, what quality are you assuring? Because customers would like to know. If I take 1 cup of concoction from a herbalist, what have I actually drunk? Is it calcium? Is it what? They don't know. If I buy a particular product, what exactly? Is it allowed in Kenya? We have had a lot of issues, especially with palm inputs. Some will tell you that we are using an input that was banned in other countries many years ago because of carcinogenic, nature. So the business you are doing, what quality standards are you adhering to? Because this is also a marketing tool. Like we are KBS, Kenya Bureau of Standards, certified. We are KEFIS certified. Those certifications are very important. Now, the business you do, what standards exist and which ones are you adhering to? Because that is also a measure of being competitive, because that product is acceptable anywhere, because the organizations that deal with quality and standards have vouched it for you. They can say this is a product that we, approve. Then we come again to innovation as another measure of business competitiveness. Introduce your products and always keep on adding value, no matter how small value that the customer considers good for them. Like the music in the loose I was referring to in some hotel in Kenya. Always go the extra mile. Offer something new. There is a shoe shine man here in Nairobi, somewhere near Koinange Street. He is a shoe shine man, and he doesn't have a kibada like the ones you find. He's just in some corner somewhere. But he shines his shoes good. And he takes us much as 15 minutes on one pair of shoes. But when he's done with your shoes, you can tell the difference. And he won't hurry even if you are 10 of you. He won't hurry because you are many. He'll finish when he must finish. Because that is how he has set his standard. He innovated that you can take longer on one shoe and just do it great. Just one man. He charges a little bit more, 10 shillings more, but he always has customers because he has discovered the need for creating his own standard. He set standards and he has innovated. And you can clearly tell the difference between shoes he has dealt with and what others are doing on the street because it takes longer. And I think with time he has mastered the art. But he won't rush over because you are many. I'm talking of a shoeman, a shoe shine in Nairobi, one person. So what do you find now? Because you cannot wait there for long, he has created a new market where people drive in with all 10 pairs of shoes and leave to him and pick later. So one day I saw somebody drop like 20 pairs and they just leave them there. So I thought maybe they were for sale. No, they were for a customer. He had brought for shining. He'll shine them good and the person he'll put in the boot and take home. And for the next 2 weeks, he won't need a shoe shine. 10 shillings more, well done. Innovation, standard. One man in a corner somewhere in Nairobi. I don't know his name, but I know his work. The next measure of business competitiveness is market access. Your capacity to enter and maintain in a market, whether it's domestic, whether it's international. Your measure of capacity to enter into a market is very important. And there are strategies that in marketing we learned that you can use to access a market. I may not go back to them, but some reduce their prices for entry. Some focus on a few critical areas of segmentation. Others, they focus, they do their segmentation to focus on a certain end of market. Others identify a niche market. So your capacity to enter a market and maintain it is very, very core to your business competitiveness. Once again, I give an example. When we started using mobile phones, somewhere around 2000 or thereabout, there was the first company that had a growing market share was called Kensel. And Kensel was charging a flat rate per minute. Whether you talk for 1 second or 59 seconds, you pay the same price. So their billing was per minute. And some of us started our journey with mobile phones there with Kensel. Shortly, Safaricom came. And they were playing catch up a little bit. So what did they do to enter the market? They started their billing in second. So if you talk for 1 second, you pay for 1 second. If you pay for, you talk for 5 seconds, that is where the game changed between Safaricom and any other company. And today, Kensel did not survive. They realized too late that the market had been taken. They sold the company to Zain, to Airtel, to what is still going on without prejudice. That was then. I believe today things have changed, but I won't refer to those companies around 2000, 2001. That is how Kensel was hit out of the market. They tried to bring some booths. People had now tested mobile telephony, so the idea of using booths, they established a few in the market. There were some few here in Nairobi. They did not even come back for them. The company ended there because the market access for the competitor, they swept them out of market without their knowledge by just billing in second, while the others were billing in minutes. Financial performance is another measure of business competitiveness, where you keep an eye on your return on investment, you keep an eye on your financial metrics, and your market share. And in marketing, you are saying your capacity to have a strong financial ability to analyze your business is a high measure of competitiveness. Keep on analyzing your business, the return on investment. Where do you make your money? How do you make your money? How are the margins? So if you don't do this, you'll be bargaining yourself out of business. And that is why this is a very important measure of business competitiveness. If you don't keep an eye on your financial performance, if you don't keep an eye on financial records, if you don't analyze them, figures don't lie. You should keep an eye on the metrics, keep an eye on your business records to know what makes your money. Because possibly you have so many items that you're working in your business. Maybe you have a hardware. You are keeping 50 different products, but maybe 25 of them, they are pulling you backwards. We should just do away with them, you know? And that is why those who are in agribusiness, especially farms, the biggest problem with farming, especially for smallholders, is that they like keeping many enterprises. So you find they have 5 enterprises. One is doing extremely well. One is all right. 3 are pulling you backwards. So they pull the 2 backwards. So you keep on working for the rest of your lives. But you don't know what hit you because you're not analyzing to know where is your strength so that you do away with what is not bringing profit. Another measure of business competitiveness is branding and reputation. How do you distinguish yourself from your competitors? And that is important. In the shoe industry in Kenya, everybody knows Bata because it's one company that has seen, have survived times. Even when Mitumba shoes came, Bata is still on. It's a brand that has remained strong despite the challenges and despite. So has there been effort to make it stand out? Yes, in colors and in everything. And in their pricing, by the way. They have a pricing that I have seen all my life. If something is 1,000 bob, they'll say it's 9.99. In the 70s, when we used to have cents and 80s, it could have been 9.99 and 90 cents. That is a pricing strategy they have had all the years I've known them. Does it work for them? Yes. Will you get the 1 shilling today? No, but it's 9.99 nevertheless. Yeah. So 9.99 is not 1,000. But when you get a shilling change, what will you do with it? So branding, reputation, try to create a reputation to stand out ahead of your competitors as a measure of business competitiveness. So we have looked at 7 of them. I want to keep this in mind because at the end of this, you are going to look at your business and rate them. What can you work on, to make your business more competitive? Is it cost efficiency? Is it productivity? Is it quality standards? Is it on innovation? Is it on market access? Is it on financial performance? Is it on brand reputation? So at the end of this, you are going to put in chart what your business is about, where you are, and what can you work on in 3 months, in 6 months, 12 months to make your business more competitive. It's a commitment that you'll be making for yourself because you chose to be in this business. And because it was your choice, we are helping you to be more competitive, make more money so that we can all, benefit, me as a customer and you as the owner of the enterprise. Yeah, I think we have done, and now we can do a few more minutes and we take a break. So I want to look at steps of establishing competitiveness. Then we shall take a break at around 1:30. We want to establish competitiveness in our businesses. So we have a number of steps that we take and you are going to take for your business, whatever business you have. It can improve a little bit if you invest more to make it more competitive. And step number 1 is market analysis. And that is why we did a marketing package which had carried a whole item on market analysis to understand the needs of the customer. At the beginning of this presentation, I shared with you that customers have uniqueness in what they want and how they want it. So make it your business to understand how these preferences are. Are they permanent? No, they will keep on changing. And if you're in business, you must have a notebook somewhere where you always note comments by customers. Something like, I wish you could pack in smaller quantities. I wish you had more variety. I wish your tea could be warm, hotter. I've been taking your tea, it is like always lukewarm. I wish you are drinking water could be colder. I wish your food would have less salt. I wish your clothes, hata kama ni mtumba, could be more pressed and looking nice. I wish you selected better kidogo. Here in Kenya, it's called camera. I wish you did more camera. Market analysis to understand your customer. Who are you serving? And when you discover your customer, serve them good. Serve others all right, but focus on the goose that lays the golden egg. Just like the water I was telling you, the bottled water I was telling you, that company focuses on ladies who have some money, they can spend, they have some little bit more, so they can even pay a shilling more. They identified that is the customer who is always traveling, they are all over. They are serving everybody, but they will never drop that one. They will keep the needs of that one because that is the customer that lays the goose that lays the golden egg. Step number 2 is strategic planning. This is developing very clear long-term strategies for your business. Most of the small and micro businesses, they don't have long-term strategies because most of the people who come to micro, they are coming to make money for money's sake. They want to be rich. They want to have money, to look like you have money. So actually, it's not a business that has long, clear-cut strategies. If you go to the business to make money for money's sake, you'll never get it. You go to solve a problem. You go to, to help people meet their needs. In meeting people's needs, you make money. But you don't go make money for the sake of money. Money for the sake of money has no short-term, has no long-term strategy. And because it's a short-term strategy, it never works for long because you won't be able to withstand a few shocks. that come with that. So another step in the process of establishing competitiveness is capacity building, investing in training and development, in capacity development. And this is an area I like too much. People are doing everything else except capacity building. And, you know, I look at the kind of projects we do in our counties. We like brick and mortar, but we are doing very little in building the capacity of people, especially the young people. Like the training we are doing here today. Maybe somebody will listen to this for the first time, but maybe it will impact for 1,000 years. We are not believers in training and development. Even in business, buy books, listen to webinars like you are doing now to know, to add your capacity. Pay for seminars where you meet speakers, where you go for expos, so that you can improve your own capacity. We are here today because we have invested in our capacity. And so every business should keep an eye. If you don't have a training and development agenda, then your growth will be limited. And this applies even for your employees. Let them go for seminars. Let them invest in their capacity, pay for their education, or give them leave to do online learning. Give them time to attend new things. Capacity development. I'm taking more time here because I'm such a believer in capacity development, because I am a product of capacity development. What I know about business today and the processes I've gone through and the knowledge and the experiences, I can't imagine. I don't know how I lived without knowing this. The need for capacity development. I've taken myself for seminars, I've paid for education, and I can see how that translates in myself, in this business of mine. This is my business, you know, this is my business. How it has impacted in my business. So it's one very useful step for your business too, focusing on capacity development. Product development is another area. And whatever product you are dealing with, whether you are in Microsoft, a small or medium enterprise, focus on product development, because customers' needs keep on changing and preferences. Why do they change? We also don't know. They keep on changing. That's it. That's why we used to wear bell bottoms, and today we are wearing something else. That's why we used to have petrol cars, carburetor. Today we have something different. And the vehicles that, like the Peugeot company, that did not change with the time to go to VVTI, they were swept out of the market, period. Because a 504 marketing strategy was on remaining the same forever. They even used to have an advert in the Daily Nation saying 504, the same since 1967. Genuine parts of Peugeot 504 since 1967. A car of 1967 is a fuel guzzler. They kept on using the carburetor for all those since 1967. So the Japanese saw that. They developed a lighter car that will consume less. They made the EFI, they came to VVTI. Today we have a hybrid, and tomorrow we have electric. So if you think your product will survive time by remaining the same, watch this space. Customers' needs keep on changing, technology keep on changing, and there is nothing you can do about that. What you can do is to keep changing with the changing times. If people want to Zoom, give them Zoom. If you cannot meet them anymore face-to-face, that's it. This is the time for Zoom and other technologies. That's why we moved. Otherwise, we were trainers of physical people so that I can see your face. Now I can't even see you. I don't even know what you are thinking. But this is it. I can reach 548 now instead of some 20 or 30. Yeah, so the outreach is better. And we are now developing our product to meet more, impact on more, right? Because whether we like it or not, that's what changed. That's why we are struggling with Zoom. We are struggling to learn this. We have really struggled. I used Zoom for the first time in March 2020. When Corona arrived, I didn't know what was Zoom. You were told to start using Zoom and to install it in our laptops. Now we have so many Zooms, you know, we are using today. So product development is important. The next step is quality management. And we agreed that quality is in the eyes of the beholder, the customer. So you institute a quality control system that ensures that the product is not compromised on the way the customer wants it. Yeah. So quality management, you have to institute it in your business, like feedback systems. Doing something about feedback, you know. Some do feedback system just as PR, and customers are not fools. They know. Do something about feedback. Engage the customer. How can I do this better for you? Yeah. To improve on quality, how else do you feel this product can be better for you? Is it the sizes? Is it the color? You know, even colors matter. You can have a very good product, but you don't like the color. Can we change on colors? Another step in the process is cost management. I cannot overemphasize on cost because we have said in the past that you must have return to investment. And this might involve replacing some of the routine tasks with technologies like we have done. The 548 of you, if you are to put them in workshops, you can imagine the amount of money that you have to pay to reach them. But today, doesn't cost you 548 of you. Maybe you are just paying a shilling or two for this. For the fair, you have to have 10 training halls, and they're paying trainers to do it. So cost management is very important. Then we also have the marketing and branding. I talked about branding a while ago. And you must stand out among competitors. The way you do your thing, your colors and your everything, your morale, your everything should come out. And you can see big brands even have colors so that when you think Safaricom, you see green. When you think butter, you see red. No? So what about your kiosk? When I think of your Mama Boga kiosk, what do I see? Yes, now you are thinking. Brand yourself. Even if you're selling samosa, buy a kabuti, you know, be clean, label yourself, front, Mama Safi, you know. Brand yourself, so you are not just another ordinary business person. Stand in ways that are different from others, so that when people think of oranges, they think of your nice kibanda. When people think of shoe shining, they think, you know, of you because of the way you are marketed and branded yourself. The final one is continuous improvement. If you don't continuously improve and adapt market changes, then over time, you'll be slow punctured, if I may use that term. So invest in technology. Invest in new ways of doing things. Invest in new skills. Hire people from the market. Hiring relatives is fine, but usually relatives don't come with skills. Relatives come with hang-ups that stifle decision making. Hire from the market, have the best from the market. Keep an eye on what is new in the market and keep on changing. Because if you don't change them, you'll be like the dinosaurs that we are told that they died with time. You'll be like the 504 Peugeot without prejudice. There used to be matatos, there used to be everything, there used to be personal cars. Today you can count how many are on the road because they refuse to change with time. They used to be very expensive cars. They were our dream cars when we grow up. Today, even if you are given one, you can't take because you can't fuel it. It's outdated, costs so little. Yeah, it's a dinosaur that refused to change. So rest in peace, our dear 504. So ladies and gentlemen, I wish to stop here for a small break. It is about 10:30. So thank you very much for listening. Let's take a 15 minutes break and come back at 10:45 and continue with the second part. So thank you very much. Let's meet in 15 minutes.
Good morning, everyone. Just a few minutes as we try and sort out the black blocks that you could see on the screen. Yeah, so just request for like 2 more minutes as we sort out that. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
Okay, let me just open it one more time. Um, okay. Okay, we can proceed. I go to the next slide.
Yeah, go until I tell you to stop where we ended.
Okay. Okay. I think this was the next slide, isn't it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
Good. So welcome back, everyone. Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm told some of you are not getting some of the content, but we had decided to change our presentation. So I'm now on the receiving end of the boxes. Yeah, but we won't look at the competitiveness cycle right from, you can institute as competitiveness in your business through a cycle. You have a cycle right from assessment of customer needs. We go to planning, we go to implementation, we go to monitoring and evaluation, we go to learning and adaptation. So these are the 6 areas of competitiveness cycle, because no matter how a business, the size of business, is good to institute mechanisms that will increase your business competitiveness. So I'll go through them one by one. So let's go to the next slide, Mantu. Right. The first step was assessment. You have to regularly assess the marketing environment and your internal capabilities and your performance metrics. By that I mean, because it is evident that the market keeps on shifting, it's always good to keep an eye on what is changing. Maybe there are new competitors that have come. Sorry. Maybe a major competitor has left. A new product that has come. Maybe an inferior product has come to the market. When you assess all these, it's good to keep an eye on what is happening. By that, will change the way you do your thing. Once you make that assessment through a marketing assessment, and market assessment never stops. It's not a one-stop thing. You always must have a feedback mechanism, whether it is written, whether it is verbal, whatever it is. Keep an ear on what the customer are saying about you and your business. Because customers are very frank and they give you a very objective assessment. you could be thinking you are doing very well when you're not doing well at all. Keep on checking your internal capabilities. Maybe your internal organization and your internal customers are bringing you down. Look at your human resource. Look at your performance metrics is what tells you that your business is doing well. Could be the profit, could be the sales. Keep an eye on them. Once you assess them, you sit down and plan. You develop strategies to address the weaknesses, to leverage on your strengths. You have done your assessment, then the next thing, you could develop strategies on how you are going to institute what you have assessed to your advantage. From there, you have to execute that strategy. Maybe you need to fire some employees. Maybe you have to bring in new talent. Maybe you have to leverage on technology. Maybe you have to pull out from a market segment. Maybe you have to drop out some product lines. You have seen products being pulled out of the market completely because they are not doing well. Recently, we had a vehicle assembling company in Kenya that looked at their business and they said, "We are sorry, we cannot continue like this." Those are strategies. Moving out is a strategy. Going to another market segment is a strategy. No? Monitoring and evaluation. You now from there, you monitor how your new strategies are working. Because you have to see that what have you changed? Has it worked the way you wanted? Then, once again, feedback, feedback, feedback. Get a lot of feedback from your customers because they are the eventual users of your product. And they cannot lie. They'll always tell you the truth. So keeping an eye on the environment, keep an eye on the customer, make your assessment, develop your strategies, execute them. Evaluate, keep an eye on it to evaluate how it is working, then get a feedback, and then adapt to new challenges that come to the market. Like I used the example of Corona. When Corona came, it was a showstopper for everyone. But it was also an opportunity. There are people who thank God that COVID came because like this company Zoom, that's when they made their billions. Their sales went up about 10 times because thanks to COVID, yeah, that's how it goes. It's a tragedy all the same, but it came and made sense to their business. So adaptation, adapt to new challenges. Next, Mantu. Good. There is nothing that has all the advantages. Everything has its own risks, has its disadvantages. And one of the risks of competitiveness, sometimes it makes traders and entrepreneurs to be too inward looking, overemphasizing on cost of reduction. You know, cutting costs alone cannot make you competitive. Why? You can cut costs to an extent that now you are harming the quality of your product. The very qualities that brought you money, that gave you return on investment. You can cut costs so much that you really hurt the goose that lays a golden egg. And so cutting on cost alone is not a standalone strategy that can give you competitiveness. The next risk is market saturation. And in highly competitive markets, many traders tend to rush in to the market and it becomes saturated. And I'll give you an example of a very micro business. Recently, people have discovered there is money in chapatis. And we have seen chapatis every corner of the street. So those who began that business, they made a lot of money because they made volumes, so chapati at 20 bob. Now everybody is making chapatis. Now, that's a risk now because the market saturation, it forces you to sell at lower. Now, if you sell a chapati at lower, than 20 shillings, then you are not in business, because wheat is expensive, mafuta is expensive, there are taxes therein, there is VAT, there is what, there is this levy and that. So market saturation is a risk. And so there is need to be, innovative. Attempting to scale up too quickly, can give you a resource strain, especially for beginners. Currently, I'm a mentor to somebody who has started a business of a foods of a supplement, nutritive supplement. So there is many ideas are flying all over. Like, oh, do I package in 1 kilo? Do I package in half a kilo? And to me, it's like, okay, throw it to the market. Let the market decide. But no, I need to focus on a bigger market. I need to package it in sachets. Not you need. Let the market decide. So when you are trying to scale up, feeling like you're not doing enough, you won't grow so quickly. Growth is organic. You cannot grow faster than the business can grow. And if you do that, you are going to strain your resources. And the very customers you want to serve, you can't serve them, because you are focusing on so many segments. You want to do so much within a short time. You are not listening to feedback. You are not paying attention to customer needs. You have an intention to scale up. You feel like you're not doing enough. I should now set markets. I should give to, trying to grow too fast is a risk in itself. Next. Yeah, then another risk is technological dependency. As much as we are in the technology space, it has come with its own risk. When you are 100% technological, then the cybersecurity threats have come in very strongly. I know of a county that has taken almost all their services online, which is very good outreach, very good service delivery, but wait until the services go down. Delays, nothing works. You cannot get money from the parking meters, you cannot get money from the market, nothing works. Nobody can process anything in a government office. So as you go technological, watch out for these cybersecurity threats, have backup, so that if everything else doesn't work, what can you resort to? So it's good to have a plan B. Even when you have technology, it's good to have a plan B. There's another risk of regulations, especially those who are in multiple markets. And multiple markets come with different regulations, and they can expose you to regulatory challenges. Even like if you work in Kenya, different counties have different levies, have different taxes, have different this and that. So sometimes regulatory risks, they come when you are operating in multiple markets, and these are realities. Then another risk that there is supply chains vulnerability. When you over-rely on a limited number of suppliers, sometimes can let you down, because when they cannot supply, you can't sell, especially those who supply goods, physical goods. It's good to have a diversity of suppliers, so that if this one doesn't work, this one works. Or you can be they can be supplying different quantities, so that at any one time you're not held captive by one. And it can happen. You can close doors in a day because a customer did not supply a certain supply, did not come. Next. Then there is another risk in market misalignment. Sometimes we overestimate our market demand and misjudge customer preferences, especially for startups. And once again, many startups, sometimes you have capital and you want to grow fast. There's usually an excitement with a new product. And naturally, people are very good. If you open a new hotel today, people want to try out. And one of the characteristics of customers is trying out. And this can deceive you that you have gotten customers for keeps. Then within a short time, they are back to their old familiar ways. So sometimes you can overestimate the market demand just because you started well and you saw income coming, some good revenues coming in, and you thought it will take long. Actually, business is not in the first buyers. Business is on repeat customers. Business is on repeat customers, not the first one-offs. That's where business is, on the repeat customers. You repeat because you love the value. And now focus on those and retain them. Otherwise, open a new club, people will flock there for the first 3 months. Then you don't know where they'll go after that. Because once again, that is people's behavior. Me and you have no control over how people keep changing their behavior. Intellectual property risk is another issue that happens with the MSMEs. And many of them have not protected their IPs or their products, especially the ones that develop unique products. So what happens when you are exposed? Other people see that weakness and they steal the property, or they make a product like yours. And that one, you run the risk of business being taken away from you. We have an international issue of the Kikoi of Kenya. Kikoi is Kiswahili. So Kenya has a good Kikoi. But after some years, it was taken by another country in Asia. And now they own the Kikoi. And if you say Kikoi, now you are playing with their market, because now, hata kama ni Kiswahili, even if it is Swahili, you know very well it's a product from Kenya, but the intellectual property belongs elsewhere. So if you are dealing with Kikoi now, as much as you are the original developer, it's not yours anymore. Those are the risks that we have in the market. We have economic and political risks. Recently, we have seen how our time bomb exploded sometime in June with the young people. We have had protests for a long time, and this one has been a drain, especially on small businesses. There is nothing as painful as a business closing for a day, because that goes to customer needs unmet. So external factors are a real risk to competitiveness, but we have to see a way of dealing with them. If there is a political instability, if there is economic downturn, you can move out to areas where you can thrive. Maybe your rent in Nairobi is too high. You can now consider going to countryside where rent is low. The revenue might not be as high, but maybe you cannot cope with the rent anymore. So you have to look at what you can do out of town. You can sell things online now, so that even when we have political problems, you can have go downs tweeted out of town and people can still be delivered their products and so on. So economic and political risks are real, and we must have a way of dealing with them as small, medium, and micro enterprises, because they are a risk to competitiveness. Next. Yeah, over all this presentation, we can't overestimate the benefits of competitiveness in business, like enhanced market position. And you have to focus on market position by branding yourself. Be different. Even if you are selling small chas or small keys, be different from the next person selling. Maybe in hygiene, maybe you stand out because you are wearing a nice apron or dust coat or something. Brand yourself a little bit different. If you are shining shoes, let anybody in town see you. Be visible. Shine in something. I'm using this because they look like very small examples, but they are so real. No, benefits. Another benefit is increased profitability. When all those factors we have talked about are done correctly, access to new markets, because now you focus on the customer need and you have done your market segmentation very well, the one we started with, you can be able to access new markets. New markets come with new revenues. New revenues come with good return on investment and business growth. Another benefit is innovation and growth. Once you do your segmentation properly, it brings about growth because you are innovative. And the innovation is simply trying to do some things differently. And differently means meaningful changes. Yeah, like the music in the washrooms I was talking about, you know, do something differently. It's innovative, you know. You go to a hotel, when you order food, they give you some starter soup, something that is not even expensive, you know, but it's an innovation. Maybe they give you a piece of fruit. It's an innovation because this will bring customer satisfaction. And that is what we crave for, to give customer value and make the customer have satisfaction with us all the time, because wherever they are, they know they can get what they want from you. And the dream of every business is to keep a satisfied customer. Keeping a satisfied customer is what keeps you going, especially in lean times. You know, a business has cycles. Every business, there's a time income is low, there's a time income is high because of the dynamics of money in the country. So when the business is low, those who sustain you are those you have kept over time, not the new customer. And that gives you resilience. Resilience is that power to go on, even when odds are stacked against you. You can still be there. Like those shopkeepers you saw in the villages, that even when you are in primary school, they were still there. You know, now the shop has done some 40, 50 years. Resilience, they have seen it all. And generations have bought from them and gone, you know, that kind of thing. Because until you do 5 years, in 5 years, you have faced most of the challenges you can face in business. And those challenges, they make you learn. You learn new things. You learn new markets. You learn how to deal with customers, how to train them, and so on. So we can enumerate many, many, many benefits. Next, Mantu. Yeah, so what are the qualities of a competitiveness conscious entrepreneur? This is an interesting one. Just to pick on a few. The first one is being innovative, being ahead of the game. That extra thing you do that is different from what others are doing, your competitor is doing, is innovativeness, new ways to improve every time, no matter how small it looks. Please institute it, even saying thank you to a customer. You know, many businesses don't even tell a customer thank you. But big corporates, they even send you birthday cards and New Year, you know, it looks small. It is almost costless, but you don't know what it means to a customer to get something from you that you appreciate what they do. Adaptability. Your ability to adjust strategies as you move. Because if you don't change quickly, then change will change you. Like the Safaricom cancel story I told you a few minutes ago. A company was swept out of market within a few months because of just their billing that they stuck to. To them, they felt, let's do per minute. They took too long to change it. The rest is history. Then Offering exceptional value to a customer. When you are serving a customer, no matter how small or big he is, be focused on their needs. That mindset is very important. And that is why it's always good to keep an ear on them. How else would they like to be served by you? Is it they don't like the size? Is it they don't like the amount? Is it they don't like the way it is handled? Yeah. There are even some things that are packaged like they'll never be open. Even some water that we are buying from the street. Sometimes you fight with the water to just open a cap. It's like it was packaged never to be opened or opened with our pliers or something. Yet should be adaptable. So if you give such a feedback to them, they'll think, let's just package it like that. Yeah. That's what I just thought. Something as small as that, I'll stop buying a brand because their packaging is just not friendly. You break your nails there and you'll have premium tears trying to come up to get the water out of the container. Then the financial acumen, the grasp of numbers. Many traders, many entrepreneurs don't focus on understanding the financial management. And they don't invest in their staff to have good financial management skills. And that one wastes them a lot because numbers don't lie. And numbers tell the story about a business. So a good, competitive, conscious entrepreneur minds a grasp of financial management so that you can be able to do pricing strategies properly and be able to cost properly. You can be able to know when you're making a loss, when you're making a profit, and when it makes sense to pull out some brands, to pull out from allocation, because you have to work on your competitiveness. And finally, networking and collaboration, building collaborations, backward and forward linkages in your business. They are very important to competitiveness. You can do corporate social responsibilities. You can work on MOUs with companies for supply of goods and services. And networking generally. You can go to seminars. You can go to social gatherings, market your stuff. Even in church, you can still market your product. Yeah. There's nothing sinful saying, I'm so-and-so, I'm saved, and I also sell mabatis. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. There's nothing saying I sell small chats and I'm the youth leader. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. So let people know you with your brand. Let people, know what you stand for. When they look at you, they see small chats. Yes, this is my business. When they see you, they see, yes. So that kind of thing. You brand yourself and you network aggressively. Next. So finally, we are coming to almost the end with some few takeaways about business competitiveness. Some are repetitions, but they are good takeaways all the same. Number one is a balanced approach to cost efficiency and supporting employee development. Many entrepreneurs do not develop their employees. They don't know the value of just keeping a happy employee. And today, research has been done and shown that much of return to investment is about the internal customer. And that is the employee, how you keep them happy and ready to serve you. And this one is simple things like having a cup of tea, having clean washrooms, simple things. Maybe somewhere one can suckle a kid, simple thing. Empathizing with them when they have problems. Maybe somebody is burying a relative. You have to satisfy this internal customer so that they can give their all. a medical scheme here and there, you know, appreciating them, maybe the employee of the year, the waiter of the year, those things, or even a waiter of the day, you know, that approach to employee satisfaction is very important so that you can have a balanced approach to cost efficiency so that growth can be assured. Then innovation once again is here. I cannot overemphasize on innovation. Differentiate yourself from the market. Importance of market understanding. You have to understand your market very well. Customer preferences are, you know, the number one thing, so that you can know the strategies that you are going to put in place to reach them and to keep those in locked, because you cannot afford to lose a customer. Number 4, resilience through flexibility. Be flexible every time. Be ready to adopt new changes. And finally, risk awareness. Risk will always come. And when risk comes, you know how to go about it. You know how to change quickly, just like what happened with the corona time. COVID arrived in Kenya on 13th March 2020. And I remember we were working on a project and we heard the president has closed, I don't know, the airport, has told everybody to go home. We thought, this is just for a week. Then we shall be excited and come back. We took 2 years. We even wound up the project from home. But do you know what? Working online boosted our productivity by 50%. Because most of the time we are in matatos, sleeping, going to work, chatting in the office. But when you put 2 hours of serious work at home, it's like 2 days in the workplace. That one we didn't see coming. So working online improved our delivery. So even in your business, maybe you can consider people working on offline sometimes. They are more productive. So it stopped being working from home. Now it became like living in the workplace. It is our homes that became the workplace. Yeah, working from home versus living in the workplace. Yes, we started living in the workplace. Next. Good. This is a slide I was talking about right from the beginning, that with all what we have discussed this morning, I would like you now to look at your business. Look at the 7 measures of competitiveness, business competitiveness. If it is cost efficiency, productivity, quality standards, innovation, market access, financial performance, branding, what can you do in your business in the next 3 months? Because these things we train every day. If you don't take action, you go back to the old familiar ways in no time. So what can you do in 3 months? What can you do in 6 months? What can you do in a year? So I'd like you to just pick one area and you chat it to us. We shall analyze a few, and then we shall have come to the end of the session. So from me, I'm happy to reach the end of this presentation. And because we have 8 minutes, we shall go to Q&A as you jot in and as I get feedback from my colleague. Thank you very much. Over to you, Mantu.
Thank you, Duncan. We can see the round of applause, the virtual round of applause. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And just from the feedback coming in, we are seeing a lot of appreciation for this session. So thank you. So I think we can just go straight to the Q&A. We have quite a number of questions. And just allow me to mention that we will share the recording as well as the presentation to the emails that you registered with. So you will be receiving that in the course of the week. Also, I'd like to just point out something. We did seek out feedback from participants of last year's sessions, and we were even discussing with Duncan, and one of the things that came out strongly was the need to have practical and actionable next steps from the session. And so as you can see, that last slide might be one of the most important ones from this session, so that after this, you can go and sit down and as you reflect on the session, now look at the various areas that Duncan has covered and what that looks like for your business and how you can practically apply. So thank you very much, Duncan, for that. So let me begin with the question. So we have Esther who says, if you could clarify that market segmentation will not just be on one aspect, but can be a combination of one, two, or even all the aspects that have been mentioned. So maybe you can speak to that and then we go to the next question.
Yeah, market segmentation is very wide. It's only that now we covered that in marketing on the presentation of marketing some months back. So for the benefit of this presentation, we could not go too deep, but it's a very, very, very interesting area. And the customer can keep an eye on the next marketing presentation. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Then we have Esther Kadondi who says, how do you navigate the process of establishing competitiveness as a startup? Some of the aspects are built over time. You gain experience as you go along.
Absolutely. That is why market research is very important before you start a business. And research is not just academic. You can just walk around listening to what people say about that kind of business. You can ask questions, random questions. You can attend people's ceremonies, and they don't know you are doing research, but you are, meeting them and asking them questions. You can set a small team in different locations to just engage people in those conversations. It doesn't have to be pen and paper and the academic research you analyze using SPSS. No, it's just to get a feeling on how people are. Then when you start a business, keep on asking them, is this good for you? How else do you think is better? And in my experience in business, because I also did some small businesses, keep an ear on what people are saying, customers are saying. When you hear one customer comment on something, you hear it second time. The third time, you must take action. So give it a count of 3. You hear it once, hear it third time, take action. Thank you.
Thank you, Duncan. Let me also answer a question around the certification. Just like last year, we will aggregate your training hours at the end of the 7 modules. So we will have a threshold, and those who pass, more than half of the training hours will be eligible for digital certification. So, we would like to encourage you to sit through and to learn from all the modules that we will be sharing. We'll be having various experts, and so it's going to be very enriching for you. The next question comes from Martin Kimathi. He asks, how can I manage market saturation without incurring a loss? Yeah.
Yes, market saturation is because of many customers or many new people coming to start the same business. So that one is usually unfortunate because you cannot kick out a partner, but you have to look at what they are weak in and focus there. That's number 1. Number 2, then relocate to another segment. If you are in town, now you can go maybe to suburban. I remember when cyber caves became very many in town, they started charging even 50 cents because now there were too many. People now went now to suburban areas. They went to Thika, they went Mashinani. So market saturation, you have to come up with new ways of beating the competition. Either you move out to other segments, or you study what they are not offering and you offer that, or you offer just a certain class, a niche where maybe they can't reach or they has been ignored. Like in cyber caves, what they did, they improved their speed. They invested more in speeds because they knew internet is about speed. Those who have survived today, like one cyber I've used for almost 15 years, they invested every day. They invest in speed. What can bring better speed? And that's how they kept ahead of competition. That's just an example. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. I can now ask 2 questions. There's one that Martin Kimathi is asking, how can someone overcome the fear of starting a business? And I will couple that with Jemima Kamono, who says, really great presentation. Collaboration is great, but how do you protect your business from collaborators who are competitors and may use what they learn from the collaboration to bring you down?
The fear of failure is the beginning of failure. Everybody has capacity to feel fear, but most of the fear you feel is because you are not prepared. You feel your level of preparation is not good. So prepare well. Yeah, just prepare well, and the fear will be gone. Otherwise, you'll die many deaths when you are not well prepared. And also keep in mind that all the successful people you see and businesses, they have failure is a result of success is a result of failure. We have failed many times to reach where people have reached. So you are not the first one to fear, but let fear not stop you. Prepare well, execute well, then face other challenges as they come. Collaborators, just like in the previous question, study what they are not doing well, study their weaknesses, and I've used the example of a cyber cave. When the competition came, they realized customers just want good speed. So they went for machines that could deliver high speed. Some even started offering coffee as you work, and it was very good. When you work in a cyber, you come fatigued. So they gave free coffee, and it worked. Then other services, they brought photocopying services, they brought M-Pesa services, integration of services. So study what collaborators are not doing well. Focus there, but listen to the customer, and you'll be ahead. Then if it doesn't work, then you can navigate to other locations.
Right. Thank you, Duncan. I have also just shared on the chat our SME community. If you're not already on there, you're very welcome to join. We have an SME community where we share such opportunities and learnings that you can plug into. So allow me to share one more question because of time. This is from Esther Kadondi. She asks, a big challenge that many businesses face in Kenya is conmanship in terms of suppliers as well as buyers. How do you navigate this? E.g., constructing, for example, a kibanda can cost you 3 times the cost because of conmanship. Giving buyers credit is a nightmare, etc. Yes.
Yes, that is very true. To beat conmanship is just to give yourself time to have information. Number one, the kibanda you want to build, walk around those who have them already. Ask them how they made them, who supplied them, so that you can get referrals who are productive and not conmen. Otherwise, don't just go to the market and ask who does this. Learn from experts. Learn from those who are already in your business, because they can give you the best referrals. Otherwise, you'll have premium tiers. If you go out there and looking vulnerable, and you meet many brokers. I've seen them before. People will even claim to offer services they cannot offer. Then they charge you 10 times, then they run with the money. So I place a lot of value. If you want to start a certain business, approach as many who are doing that business, and you start it right. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Duncan. We have so many questions. I think what we can also do is we'll probably compile them and see what we can answer and share alongside the slides and the recordings, so that we can end in good time and have you all come for the next session, which will be next Tuesday, same time, same place. So ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our first module for the 2024 KBA DTB Financial Literacy and Enterprise Development session. Thank you so much, Duncan, for taking us through the module. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining in and for your excellent engagement. Let's meet next week, same time, same place. Feel free to invite your colleagues, invite your friends in business, so that we can all take our businesses to the next level. Thank you and have a good day ahead. Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Thank you all.